Welcome back to the Dragon Den, my loyal Dragonites. King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Medicom Toys Mafex Ahsoka Tano from the Ahsoka TV series. And so here we have Ahsoka posed and out of the packaging, and before we have a look at the figure, let's run through her accessories. Ahsoka does come with two very impressive head sculpts, as well as 6 pairs of hands for various style posing and holding her lightsabers. We also do get 3 pairs of lightsabers, 2 with the blades ignited, 2 with the blades unignited, and then 2 that holster on her belt. And finally, Ahsoka does come with her robe, which looks really good here. Other than that, Ahsoka does not come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at her details. Taking a look at Ahsoka, I think Mafex has done a really good job here with this version of the character. She looks very impressive, and the amount of details Mafex was able to put in this figure is top notch. Taking a look at the head sculpt, it's a pretty decent head sculpt and does bear some resemblance to Rosario Dawson. Though the likeness isn't 100% spot on, it still looks good, and I especially love the paintwork here, especially with the white stripes on her face. Her eyes are painted really cleanly, and I love the headdress that she's wearing. Her leg hooves are actually done really well in white plastic, and the paint job on them is very good. And they do hang off her body, which might seem a little bit odd, but it does help with articulation. Her outfit is done in this dark blue, which looks good, and we can see an inner robe done in a lighter grayish blue. And one thing I love is that her outfit is actually nicely textured, where the fabric actually looks really good here. And going to the back of her shirt, you can see it actually gets to a much darker blue here on the back, and it looks good with the contrasting blue colors. The orange skin tone does seem a little bit bright here, but it does look good here on Ahsoka, and it looks really good on her arms. She does have some dark blue wrappings going all the way up to her biceps, and you can see that there is some skin poking through. She does have on these bracers, which are done in this really good color, and I love the gunmetals and slate blues that we have here. And one detail I love is that Mafex was able to paint the straps here on the bracers, giving the leather look a really good brown, and we do have some silver buckles. And she is wearing brown fingerless gloves with the armor on the back of her hand as well. Taking a look at her waist, Ahsoka does have on this really intricate belt, which has a lot of good details here. The undermost part of her belt is actually really done well, as it has this quilted pattern to it. Then we do have these flaps on the sides of her hip, which are done in darker blue, and they do have some details sculpted in them as well. She does have on a brown leather belt, which is painted really cleanly, and then we do have that metallic circle in the middle of her belt. And then the dark blue wrappings that go onto her back are also painted really well, and I do like the fact that the straps are actually soft plastic here. She also has this string done in this really good dark blue with silver paint going down her right hip. And Ahsoka is wearing her baggy pants, which look phenomenal here, not just with the folds and wrinkles, but the fact that Mafex actually sculpted on this quilted pattern. They are sculpted really nicely, although you can see some really bad breaks here in the sculpt due to the articulation. And her pants are tucked into her boots, where once again we have that armor plating done in that gunmetal and slate blue. And just like with her forearms, the straps are painted in brown with those silver buckles painted as well. And Ahsoka is wearing ninja style shoes, which look good, and she also has some armor plating at the top of her foot. So overall, the paint and detail here on Ahsoka is very clean, and really sharp sculpt does bring out all that impressive detail. With the paint and details out of the way, let's compare Ahsoka to our usual suspects. Here we have Ahsoka posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and DC Multiverse Superman. Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. The Lightning Collection White Ranger and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have Ahsoka posed next to the Mafex Mandalorian and Boba Fett. And for one final comparison, we have the Mafex Ahsoka posed next to the Star Wars Black Series Ahsoka. So as you can see, Ahsoka is slightly smaller than the rest of the Star Wars Mafex collection, which is pretty accurate to her size. And surprisingly enough, she'll fit in perfectly with your Star Wars Black Series figures. With the comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at Ahsoka's articulation. Ahsoka does have a double ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck. Ball sockets in her shoulders. Arms go out to the side and do a full 360. a swivel in the bicep and single hinge in the elbow, ball hinges in her wrists. Ahsoka does have a double ball joint connecting her upper torso to her lower torso. Her legs do kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. She has a double bend in her knees. She has a double ball joint in her ankle, and finally a toe hinge. So overall, some pretty good articulation here on Ahsoka, and the engineering is done so well that we really don't have anything hindering her movement. So with everything said and done about the Mafex Ahsoka, let's get her posed for my final thoughts. Mafex has once again done a really good job here with another Star Wars character, and Ahsoka here is done beautifully. I really do like the fact that we were able to get two different head sculpts, but I think what would have worked better is two different face sculpts and two different styles of her Leku. The hands that we get work perfectly for Ahsoka as she holds her lightsabers fairly cleanly, and I really love the style pose hand she comes with. Her robe is another nice touch, having a wireframe to help with style posing, and I love the fact that there's a Velcro clip in the front. And I do like the fact we were able to get several different versions of her lightsaber, although I would have loved to see a swinging version as well. If there's any issues with this figure, I would have to say the likeness is a little bit off, as the Black Series likeness seems to be a little bit better than this version. And her skin tone does seem a little bit too bright, maybe dialing back the saturation would have been better for the character, but overall still a really solid figure. At the time I'm making this video, Ahsoka is available on sites like Big Bad Toy Store and Hobby Link Japan, and I did pick up my Ahsoka from Hobby Link Japan for $75. Now, I'm not the biggest Ahsoka fan in the world, but that shouldn't stop you from picking up this really good figure. So with that being said, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out the rest of my Star Wars Mafex videos. If you're in a position to help at the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent prints, latest pickups, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragon Knights coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000 reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.